All right, wrestling fans, what's up, guys? Good morning. It's Sunday morning here, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Guys, you
Good
can
morning,
watch us
guys.
live. What's up, guys? We
Mm.
gotta watch us live here on Facebook and YouTube. There's a chat if you want to chat with us, ask us questions during the show. Just either on Facebook or YouTube. Guys, subscribe if you haven't already. I got our awesome hosts here, gentlemen. We got Mr. Gerard Simonelli and we got Mr. Ronnie Anderson. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
And of course, I'm Matthew J. Haas, and welcome to Dead Man's Triad Wrestling Podcast. So, if you're wrestling fans, you guys will love the show.
Yes. Big wrestling fan. Just old school, but I'm a big wrestling fan.
Yep. Yeah, I've been watching wrestling ever since I was probably 8 years old. I started out in the late 80s, which is still old school wrestling, to some people. Late 80s had some great wrestlers. And of course, I grew up into the whole 90s thing with, the Monday Night Wars, WCW versus WWF. And, that was an exciting time for wrestling.
Yes. So, are we talking about the top 10 or the most memorable moments in wrestling?
Yeah, episode number 2 today, guys. We thought we would talk about wrestling's greatest moments in wrestling. I mean, there are some really, really great moments of wrestling when it comes to matches themselves or a moment, or an incident that happened in wrestling that impacted the wrestling business itself. There's so many things we could talk about as far as that goes. There's been great promos by certain wrestlers that really impacted, the wrestling business itself as well. Like, for example, who cannot forget the CM Punk famous pipe bomb when CM Punk went off on, WWE and his, he was unhappy with the company and how they were treating him. And he went off script a little bit on the mic, and he really, gave them a new a-hole.
Yeah, I
So-
think
CM Punk was a great wrestler.
Yeah,
CM Punk was one of the best.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
he actually went to the Octagon for a while, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yep.
but I think he realized that he's not an octagon fighter.
No.
Yeah, I mean
Learned the hard way.
he's a great wrestler. He's great on the mic, and he's great in the wrestling ring. But as far as anything outside wrestling, I don't know. I just don't think it's him.
No.
Yeah, but so guys, if you're tuning in late, join us for a topic: wrestling's greatest moments that have impacted the wrestling business. There's been a lot of stuff. Another one is we brought it up a little bit briefly in our first episode, the Montreal screw job to Bret Hart.
Yes.
Who could forget that?
Yeah, that was a big moment for me. That's back when I was really into wrestling, and I seen that happen. And then all the controversy around it, and what was true and what was not true, and that was a big moment for me.
Yeah, like Bret spitting in the face of McMahon, and yeah. But again, that was again. I was growing up when that was the prime of the Monday Night Wars between WCW and WWF. Everybody was jumping ship, back and forth. Nobody knew where they were going to go, and there were a lot of surprise elements of who was going where. And I think WWF at the time wanted to pass the torch to Bret, and they wanted Bret to lead the company, and I think there was a big dispute in not re-signing him. And I think there was a lot of failure in negotiating his contract, and I think that's what that was all about.
Well, most definitely.
What do you think about the Montreal screw job, Gerard?
I remember watching that match, and just again, like Ryan said, it was just a horrible thing. You up there, and I like Shawn Michaels. I wanted Bret Hart to win. He had the match won. And what they did was totally wrong. And I mean, I still continue watching because I'm a wrestling fan. And I'm sure it's part of the show. I don't know if that was part of the show itself or that was just the last minute thing they threw in. I didn't like it personally. I didn't.
I think by script, Bret Hart was supposed to win. And I believe, like we were discussing, the last minute changes in scripts last week. I think that came along because I've seen some of the documentaries on that actual match, and Bret Hart actually went backstage and confronted Shawn Michaels, and obviously confronted McMahon, and he kind of told him what he felt, and Shawn Michaels actually said he didn't know, he didn't want to get on that bad side of Bret Hart. So he said, I didn't know they were going to ring the bell or whatever, when actually he knew. Him and McMahon had that planned out. Right. And if you watch the facial expressions of Bret Hart, he was very surprised when that bell rang.
They were both surprised. I mean, you can even see Shawn Michaels' reaction. And that's why there was a lot of controversy around that, because I think Bret kind of felt that he did know something, and because of the way Shawn Michaels kind of responded at the end, he was just like, all right, I'm just going to take this opportunity, and now I got the belt,
Yeah.
So, but in a way, I mean, that kind of helped propel Shawn Michaels' career in a way. But I also think what helped his career was also turning on Marty Jannetty when they had the tag team, the Rockers. That was another greatest moment in wrestling too, because there weren't many things that took place like that, and the way they molded his future after that, I thought that was a great moment in wrestling, with that whole storyline. Him super kicking Marty Jannetty into the mirror. What wasn't that on Brutus the Barber Beefcake's show?
I believe it was.
Right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So that was, I think that was a greatest moment kind of thing.
Yeah,
that helped mold Shawn Michaels' career, basically.
I actually met Brutus the Barber Beefcake a couple years ago in Lexington, Kentucky.
Really? He's still alive?
Oh, yeah. As far as he was a couple years ago.
Yeah, we've lost so many great wrestlers over the years.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Whoever, did y'all see the episode the night Owen Hart died?
Yeah.
He fell from the. Yeah, that was. It wasn't a great moment in wrestling.
No, that wasn't. That was a sad moment. Yeah. So, yeah, they wanted him to come down, I think, like as the Blue Blazer, right? Yeah. Remember with his gimmick, the Blue Blazer? And they wanted him to come from the ceiling on I guess like a zip line kind of thing.
Yeah. He was rappelling down, and he dropped. I seen it. I thought it was part of the show. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That had to hurt.
Well, they said when he came down, his feet hit the ground, but his head hit the turnbuckle, and his head snapped back, and he broke his spine. Yeah. So he was basically dead. I mean, they revived him, but it was a very sad day.
Yeah. Owen Hart, I thought, had potential to be a great main eventer as far as a heel. He was a great heel.
Yeah. And plus, he was in Hart.
Yeah, he was a Hart. Yeah, it's just sad. Yeah, definitely a sad moment. And then, of course, we can't forget the Stone Cold McMahon feud.
Which one?
That was a big impact in not only, I mean, overall, because the things that Stone Cold Steve Austin did to McMahon, you would never see anywhere.
No.
The one I love when he takes his Corvette and he fills it with cement.
Oh, yeah.
And the windows explode.
Yeah, that was great.
And the iconic one, Matt, you can say the one in the hospital.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, with the bed, hitting him with the bedpan.
Yeah. Think.
Yeah. Or the beer truck. How about
beer truck? That's what I was going to say. Pull a beer truck in and just douse everybody with beer.
Yeah. Yeah, he gave everybody a beer bath. Yeah, that was a great moment in wrestling.
Was it real beer?
I don't know. Hey, back then, this was, remember, during the Attitude Era, so they were kind of like using a lot of surprise elements, and they were trying to really push that, how far they could push that envelope, as far as entertainment. And I don't know if it was real beer or not. That's a good question.
Yeah, I believe that some of the networks back then, I know earlier than that, like say Cheers, the show Cheers, when they were serving beer, it wasn't really beer. There was some kind of rule that you couldn't have actual alcohol on a show or something. So, but when he was popping them cans open, that was real beer. So they
Yeah.
were pushing the envelope.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then of course, The Rock. He's had some great moments. The feud, I think, the feud he had with Stone Cold, that in itself also, impacted the company as well. The feud between The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was another greatest, a great feud.
Even Mankind and The Rock.
Yeah, Sacco Connection.
Yeah.
I think Mankind had a feud with everybody.
Oh
Yeah.
But he's one of the greats, though.
Oh yeah. So
I still like him as Cactus Jack the best.
Yeah, I like
that. Oh yeah. All right. So I have we all shared like a little couple of links in our little group chat that we have. I'm just looking up in my notes, on some of the things that they have written here. Oh, we can agree or disagree to it, but how about here's one: when the Ultimate Warrior beats Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 6, and he had won both titles. He the Intercontinental title, is for the WWF title at the time, and he won the belts. And I think that was kind of the passing of the torch to the Ultimate Warrior as well, because then after that, I think that's when Hogan had a hiatus there, and then he went over to WCW.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you this. You happen to mention it, but I have my little wrestling one here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Me, I'm an Ultimate Warrior fan. I think he's awesome. Being a bodybuilder and a trainer in a gym, when Ultimate Warrior first came on the scene, just him coming out, just development of his body style and the way he was.
Yeah, remember with the ropes?
Shaking the ropes, coming out, breathing. Like, he was I just think he was awesome. And when I saw at the end when he retired, and he just looked so bad.
Yeah.
And when he passed, I was upset because I really did like the Warrior. And one of my best matches, he's Rick Rude.
Mm-hmm.
The Rude fights were the funniest thing. I don't know how Rude even beat him. that screw job.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't he pass like a couple days after he made Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Which in a way is like kind of ironic and was fate, because at least they got him in there right before that happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was way too far out too. He should have been in way earlier.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yep,
but I also think
moment.
Yeah, but what a lot of people don't know about is, again, behind the scenes stuff. I believe the Ultimate Warrior there was a lawsuit going on, I think, between him and the company for a long period of time, and I think there was a sour relationship between him and McMahon while that was going on. So I think that's why that took as long as it did.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I don't remember what the lawsuit was about, but it was, it put a thorn in their relationship for a little bit. But then I think in a way McMahon later on in life, I think, realized that he made amends with a lot of people that he used to not get have a good relationship with, and then that's why these guys started to slowly come back into the business.
Yeah, McMahon made a lot of money off these guys. There's no need to have, any kind of resentment against them for whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, and my wife is in the chat. She actually brought up not that I don't want to bring politics into wrestling, but that was another interesting storyline. Remember when Trump they had the storyline where apparently Trump had bought WWE and they had a feud between Trump and Vince McMahon.
Yep.
I remember that.
Now
Yeah,
that fight was funny too.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Remember Vince McMahon was messing each other's hair up?
yeah.
I got a good laugh out of it. That's for sure.
Yep. And then, again, another great moment is when Vince McMahon bought WCW, and that he bought out his competition basically.
I hated that though. I hated that move because I like WCW. I was a big fan of WCW.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
big
too.
time.
And when that happened, that crushed me. It really
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was a big WCW fan. A lot of the guys that were on that roster came from WCW, and they became really great wrestlers in WWF because WWF saw great potential in these wrestlers that came over from them. And, that was what was great about the competition because you never know who would show up where. And, WCW had a great roster. Their roster was great.
Oh yeah. Well, I was a big. You talking about heels? I was a big NWO fan too,
Yeah.
and that's
And
where all that came in.
and don't forget the cruiserweights. They were big on the cruiserweights.
Oh yeah, they had some
Oh, yeah.
superstars in the cruiserweights for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And it helped the career of Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit. We talked about that. All them guys. Dean Malenko. He was very big in WCW. There was some great. Ric Flair came from WCW.
Yeah, Mysterio wasn't he in there?
Rey Mysterio. Yep.
What I
can't
don't
believe
like
it.
is, they had WWE, they had ECW, they had WCW. I just don't like the idea that everybody got merged. It was so much better when they were just all separate companies. Now it's just like it's one big show. It's just not as fun.
Right.
I really enjoyed watching. I enjoy it. I don't enjoy it as much as I used to because I used to like watching different federations and see what was out there.
Well, that's what was
Warrior.
big.
The
Yeah.
Warrior. He was the Dinka Warrior.
Yep.
I was like, who does Dinka? And he came out doing the same thing. And then the Ultimate Warrior, he came from different federations.
Well, he was in WCW, and that's where he had the name, and he was actually a tag team partner of Sting.
Yeah.
Yep, that's where that came from. But in my opinion, I don't think it's always healthy to buy out your competition because sometimes you need that competition to do better. And I think because when they did that, like WWE grew this huge ego, and they think they like basically own the wrestling world, and they think what they do doesn't matter, but it does because their ratings. If you look at their ratings lately, their ratings are terrible.
Yep.
I mean, the pandemic doesn't help, but
Yeah, I agree with you. You kind of need that competition out there so you don't stalemate yourself.
yeah, it keeps things fresh, keeps things
Yeah.
real. So, I'm trying to look on this list here so I can. They have when Hulk Hogan slams Andre the Giant.
March
I
29th,
remember that.
1987.
Yeah.
That's when he slammed him.
Yeah,
But they get that as an iconic thing. And me, I felt that was wrong. Andre was basically at the end of his prime, and he tells him that, and that's when
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan slammed him. But in reality, it wasn't right though. I didn't. They made the biggest thing about that.
Yeah.
I actually felt bad for Andre because Andre then it looked like he was dying as he was the end of his career.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. All right. What else we got here? They got how about Ric Flair's retirement? They they thought it was well done by WWE, but I honestly thought he deserved a lot more than what they gave him as far as a retirement. Ric Flair was a great wrestler. I think one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, in my opinion.
I agree with that also.
Yeah, he's up there, Ric Flair.
Yeah. He had great feuds. Who can forget the iconic feud of Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair?
Yeah. I was a big Steamboat fan also.
Yeah, me too.
So during that time, I was torn between the two.
Yeah. And I actually thought Ricky Steamboat was a better wrestler before he went to WWF. You know, he became Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and he became this, like, I don't know. I kind of felt like they watered him down a little bit.
I believe they did too.
You know,
Because back in the 80s, he was like the shit. Everybody loved him. And then I think he took a little hiatus there and came back, and he just wasn't the same Ricky Steamboat, whether he had gotten a little older or just been out of it for a while.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Or either so many better wrestlers came in at that time.
Yeah. So I thought that feud, Steamboat and Flair feud, was a big impact in the wrestling business.
Anything with Flair was.
Yeah. And then of course we have the great Undertaker versus Mankind, Hell in a Cell.
Yep.
That was funny.
Him through the cage on the thumbtacks.
Didn't he get slammed through the top of the cage?
The top of the cage.
Yeah.
And he also got tossed over the Hell in a Cell onto the announcer table.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that guy put his body through a lot.
Yeah. But what people don't, what fans don't realize, some fans will, but they'll understand this. But when he was in ECW and the crazy shit they did in ECW, what he put himself through in between that and as Mankind was insane.
Yeah, when he went through the top of the cage, he actually landed on thumbtacks. I remember seeing him get up with all his shirt and all was tacked to his back.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah. And, when you see the behind the scenes stuff and you see them, they actually, and that part is real because those thumbtacks, that shit hurts, man. Like,
yeah, you got a couple hundred thumbtacks in your back.
Yeah. And you see them plucking them out of their bodies in the back, like, it's crazy. So, I'm trying to think what else. How about when Test was going to marry Stephanie McMahon and then Triple H became the Game, and that feud, I think that feud between the McMahons and Triple H, and then him getting involved in a relationship with Stephanie McMahon, that was a big impact for WWF at the time.
Yeah, that was pretty much for real on top of the script.
Yep. I wonder what he's up to these days. You don't hear anything about Test.
I haven't heard anything about him.
Mm-hmm. So that was another great moment.
I'll have to do a little research on him.
Now, I don't know if this is on our list, but I did research. In January 23rd, 1984, Hulk Hogan comes in and he defeats the Iron Sheik for the title. I think that right there, because as soon as Hogan came in, that's when the industry totally changed.
Yeah.
Hogan, I think, was the main guy in wrestling. Even to today, Hogan still, I think, is iconic compared to everybody else.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You mentioned Hulk Hogan's name, and the fans go crazy for Hulk Hogan, and they saw Hulk Hogan's it. His music starts, and everybody goes nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually seen Hogan on a show the other night. I can't remember what it was, but he was looking at buying a car, a classic hot rod, and he got out of his truck. He could barely walk. He said, I've had like 13 back surgeries in the last few years, and he's walking like, I know he's old, but still, he was in great physical shape. And now he's walking around, can't move his neck, back. It was terrible.
Yeah.
But he put himself through some torture also.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I think another great moment is when, people again may agree with me or disagree, but Rey Mysterio winning the title in WWF before it became WWE, I think paved the road for the little wrestlers, the smaller guys that weren't big like Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan and these heavyweights that are huge and tall, and these guys, they all go for the heavyweight title, but then they have this great cruiserweight who I think was more than a cruiserweight himself, and Rey Mysterio I think kind of opened the door for guys like Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, and because they all say that Daniel Bryan was the one who kind of paved the road for all these guys like him. Like now, that might be accurate now, but I think if you look in the past and look at Rey Mysterio and what he's done, I think Rey Mysterio really opened the door for like the smaller wrestlers to be in the main event picture.
I agree. Rey Mysterio, he was underrated back then.
Oh, he was. Yeah, I like the idea because it goes to show that somebody's small, because they think of somebody's bigger, they're always going to be a lot stronger and more powerful than a bigger guy. But in reality, it doesn't make a difference on your size.
No.
And it goes to show. I mean, granted, he's going against a monster, like you figure Hulk Hogan, things. He should lose, but things happen.
Yeah.
And he's very talented guy.
Oh yeah.
Very talented.
His son's wrestling now, I believe.
Yeah, Dominic. Yeah.
Yeah. Drew McIntyre just beat the hell out of him last week. I came in and Rey Mysterio's telling him, do this. He goes, no, Dad, I know what I'm doing. He goes, but if it doesn't work for you, you come talk to me. And boy, he came out, Drew McIntyre. He looked good at the beginning, and then Drew took him right out. But Drew McIntyre is wrestling next weekend, I believe, against Goldberg.
Yeah, they're wrestling the main event at Royal Rumble. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think they kind of destroyed Goldberg's his latest run that he's having, before he officially retires for good. But because I just feel like there are matches he has for like 18 seconds and he loses. Like, he's kind of become like a big guy jobber to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and then vice versa. Like, they could turn around and give him the title in like less than a minute. I think he's. I don't know. I like Goldberg. I like the concept of Goldberg and his character, but I kind of think he's a little overrated.
I can agree and disagree with that. For the fact is, I know how he came in. He came in as a nobody, and that seems like that's how they're going to make him go out.
Yeah.
But I'm always a big fan of Goldberg.
Yeah.
Just because he was a no nonsense kind of guy.
Right.
He took care of business and got out.
And that's another impact, I think, also when he had his time during WCW, that long undefeated streak that he had, I think kind of like, helped pave the road for guys like that. So a Goldberg streak in WCW was very long.
Oh, yeah.
How long was it?
It was like at least for like a couple years.
Yeah, I remember. I just can't remember how long it went.
Yeah, we have to look that up. Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think what else. There were some great moments in WCW. Look at Monday Nitro. When Monday Nitro was born, that was a great moment for WCW.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what propelled the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah. Like I said, I keep going back to the NWO days. That storyline was just great, seeing who was coming in and who was going out and who they were after. Yeah. They were the guys you really love to hate.
Yeah. And then, WCW had great tag teams.
Oh, yeah. Trying to think of the
Harlem Heat.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Booker T is still in now. He's the announcer,
Oh yeah, he's a commentator now. Yeah,
commentator. Yeah.
yeah. But I don't know. I liked Harlem. I didn't really care for him as a singles wrestler. I don't think he was really that good as a heel. He was more of a fan favorite and really good at it being a babyface. But you know, I really enjoyed Harlem Heat. I thought Harlem Heat really, again, they paved the road for really good tag teams.
I go back even further to Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah, Rock and Roll Express. Then you had the Midnight Express,
Midnight Express. Yep. Then the
Yep.
Road Warriors.
Road Warriors. Road Warriors became Road Warriors before they were in WCW.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, another great tag team was Demolition.
I remember them too.
Yep. You had the Barbarians.
Yeah, the Barbarians. It's all big boys though.
Yeah.
They're all big guys.
Yeah. But they for big guys though, they flew around that ring.
Oh yeah.
Let's go back even further. How about Black Jack Mulligan and Ron Simmons?
Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. And again, you know, like we mentioned earlier, Sting and Ultimate Warrior were the Dingle Warriors. That was a good tag team.
I believe that was my favorite.
Yeah, there was just a lot of really great tag teams. You had the Rockers, of course, you know, Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels.
Mhm.
You had the Islanders. You guys remember the Islanders?
Was
Yeah.
that who were the Islanders?
Seeker and
Yeah.
Haku.
Haku. Right? Haku?
Haku,
Was
yeah.
Haku and Seeker?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was. I think that was the
Yeah.
Islanders.
And Haku became a great singles wrestler. He was a good heel. He became he won one of the King of the Rings and became King Haku.
I remember that.
Yep. So
I still think my favorite tag teams. I'm going back in the '70s though. Was Tony Parisi and Louis Sedan. They're those two, and Chiche Strongbow and Billy White Wolf.
there you go.
I just those are the guys I just always remember. The new tag teams, like, you know, they don't last. They just
I know. They kill him, yeah.
you remember the Rockers, obviously, and you know, when they first came out, the Rockers. I mean, they were nobodies.
Yeah.
I mean, who was Shawn Michaels?
Right.
All of a sudden, they just I don't know. They did great. And what was the tag team with Billy Gunn and Road Dogg?
Yeah.
They were tag team.
New Age Outlaws.
New Age Outlaws. That was it.
Yep.
They were funny.
Yeah, and that's another great moment in wrestling too, when Degeneration X was formed
Yep.
during the Monday Night Wars, and I'll never forget that night on Raw where they encouraged the New Age Outlaws to put. They were feuding with Cactus Jack and Terry Funk, and they put them in the garbage, you know, the dumpster, and they pushed the dumpster right over the stage.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but those were good times during those time periods. You know, that's when wrestling really mattered. Like, as far as, you know, actually wrestling, and not so much like the promos and the storylines, and you know, and that's when people really enjoyed the entertainment of wrestling and how they, you know, their styles, and and then you had the categories and classifications of, you had heavyweight, you had your heavyweight, you had your middle class guys, and then you had your small guys, and they had divisions, and I thought that was fun. I really miss those days.
Oh, I do too.
And now, if you go like the women's champions,
Mhm.
now the women's champions now, I believe, is Charlotte Flair and Asuka,
Yeah,
and both of them are awesome wrestlers.
yeah, they are.
So for them to lose, only because they're going to turn on each other. Because I think
Eventually, yeah,
Charlotte Flair, I think Asuka is the champion.
yeah.
So obviously Charlotte Flair has to be champion. You know, she's a Flair. She needs to
Yeah.
be champion.
And I think that's kind of why they're doing what they're doing with that particular storyline, because there were some statements made that I believe, like, she wants to make herself her own name because unfortunately she's going to be carrying the Flair name for the rest of her life, but she wants to make her own accomplishments.
Yeah, but like you said, she's carrying that name, so
I know, yeah,
unless you change your name
yeah,
and
yeah,
come out
Well,
with a
you know what?
mask on, everybody's going to know she's a Flair.
yeah.
And like Natasha Hart, that's the name, Natasha,
Natalia,
Natalia, and she's always has the Hart name, no matter what she does.
right. I
I
think
don't think
she's
it bothers her. It doesn't bother her.
no, it doesn't, and I think she's a great wrestler. I think she's underrated because I think
Oh yeah.
she can definitely carry the women's title very easily.
And also
I'll-
you have what's the name? The other one is Jimmy Snuka's daughter. She's wrestling.
Mm,
I forgot her name, but she's in WWE right now too. She's a big girl and she's really strong.
yeah,
But that's his daughter, and everybody knows that's Snuka's daughter.
yeah, yeah. I'll look it up right now. Wait,
I think the female wrestlers now, in more modern day, are probably better than they were back in the day, which it's more now.
Tamina Snuka.
Tamina. Yep, Tamina. And she should never lose. You see her?
No,
Yeah.
Oh my God, she should never lose a match. And they do not give her enough. She's getting a screw job on that job. Because she should be champion.
yeah, I agree.
Kind of like the new age China.
Yeah, that was another tragedy that happened. Yeah, the whole China thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and she made the Hall of Fame. I think finally, right? They put her in.
I don't know yet.
Yeah,
I'll have to look that up.
yeah.
The
I
eighth
think.
wonder of the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll never forget the moment. I know this sounds dirty, but I'll never forget when she had her boob job, and then DX was like looking at looking at her, and they were just being funny about it. That all of a sudden she had this bigger boobs.
You want to know another good female wrestler? Lita.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. She was probably my favorite.
yeah.
She moved. She wrestled, and she was with the Rockers, wasn't she?
No, she was with
No. Edge and
Edge and
Christian.
yes.
Yes. Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, and then they did the whole rated R. Remember the whole rated R? They did that famous scene with the Ben in the ring and them doing the romantic thing, and that was yeah.
Stupid.
But
She had an injury take her out.
yeah, yep. A lot of great women wrestlers, and then you go all the way back to what's her face? Not Fabulous Moolah. Who was the other one? Where you remember where Mark they did this whole Mark Henry, and I can't remember her name now, and she was like he got her pregnant.
Was it the older lady?
Yeah. Moolah's friend. I can't remember her name. It's on the tip of my tongue. But that whole thing was like that was like really
May
bad.
something. Was it something May or something?
Mae Young. There you go. Right.
May Young.
Yeah.
May Young. He got so pregnant.
Yeah. Remember?
That's stupid.
Yeah, I know. You were like, "What? There's no way that would be possible." Yeah. And then,
in the Hall of Fame.
yeah, and then of course, who could forget the storyline of Vince McMahon's illegitimate son? And that's when they bring in Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
That was
Good
funny.
moments.
Hornswoggle.
The-
Oh,
And-
God.
In the 80s, the midget wrestling was popular.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We got a venue here. I don't know if y'all know anything about Lynchburg, but it's not a big place whatsoever. But we got a venue here. Past couple years, right before the COVID, we would have midget wrestling. They set a ring up in the, right in front of the stage, and they'd have midget wrestling for a couple hours once a month.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
I remember years ago watching it, and the midgets used to come out in the 70s, and they'd be fighting, and then they'd be getting beat up by the big guys, and Andre would come in.
Yeah.
And he'll go help the midgets. And if he picking the midgets up and body slamming them like on top of
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. Crazy.
Or watching Andre, 7'4", and his midget's only 4 foot. It's
Yeah.
not even 4
Yeah.
foot. It's like,
Yeah.
Back
But,
in the good old days.
Yeah. I mean, and then I was just going to mention quick, Chris Jericho made an announcement on his Facebook page. I believe they are working on a season 3 for Dark Side of the Ring. And I can't wait for that to come out because I think they're working on getting it out there. So I can't wait for season 3 of that. That's a really good TV show.
I have to watch. I haven't watched any of it yet, so I'm gonna have to go back and start at season 1.
Yeah. And then, another great moment was Jericho's debut in WWF when he jumped from WCW to WWF when they had that whole clock thing and they didn't know who was the countdown.
Y2K?
Y2K, yeah.
Y2K. Have you guys heard his band?
Yeah, I like Fozzy.
Fozzie's
I
good.
do too. I've seen him a couple times. He was pretty good.
Yeah, no,
I
he
was
is.
surprised.
I like Jericho a lot because he's a great entertainer, like not just in wrestling, but outside of wrestling, not only for his band Fozzy, but he's a very talented, entertainer. He's on multiple platform on TV. And, he was on Dancing with the Stars. He was on a couple other, TV shows. And, like, he's a really, really good entertainer. I like him a lot.
I do too.
And I got the guy Elijah. You ever see Elijah?
Elijah.
He's Welcome with Elijah. He's wrestling right now.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he comes out playing the guitar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
Walk with
then
Elijah.
we got Marty Jannetty with the guitar. Or we have Ronnie Anderson, looks like Marty Jannetty on our team, yeah. You remember Marty Jannetty? He come out and they crack people with the guitar in the head?
Yeah. Yep. Jeff Jarrett did that too.
Jarrett, yep.
Yep. Double J. Yep. Trying to think who else. And of course we can't forget when Eric Bischoff made his WWF debut and they made him general manager of Monday Night Raw, and that surprised everybody because Eric Bischoff used to have a feud with Vince McMahon over the Monday Night Wars, and that was a big surprise.
Yeah, I kind of seen it coming though.
Yeah. Oh, of course. So, but I'm trying to think. And there were some great pay-per-views that WCW had too. They had Halloween Havoc was a really great pay-per-view that they had every year. And then you had War Games, which was I thought was awesome.
I never did see any War Games. I've seen Halloween Havoc a few times.
Yeah, War Games is great because it was like if I remember it correctly, they had 3 rings together and they had a certain way of bringing people in and eliminating people or whatever, and it was a really unique idea of how they had it. It's I got to go back and watch it again, see if they have it in their network.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah,
Me too.
And what do you think of the network, guys? Like, do you think that was a good thing of WWE to do, or do you think they should have left that alone?
I love it.
You like it?
The reason why, because I couldn't afford pay-per-views every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watch it, and you have like 2 events in a month, 3 events. It's $150.
Yeah.
This I pay $10 a month. I can see everything. If I miss it, I can watch it later on. Years ago, when it was on, you missed it, you're done. You couldn't see it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you
So
wait a couple
I
days
enjoy it.
and you can order it again on pay-per-view a few days after
Yeah.
it was done.
Yeah. And then it would be a little
it's new
cheaper.
already.
Yeah, but still, if you don't watch it live, it's
It's not the same.
No, not the same.
It's like I watch hockey or whatever, and I won't listen to anybody. I don't know media because I want to see the score. I don't know if the team lost already. Because if you know a team loses, you're not going to watch it.
Oh, of course.
It's
You're
just like
exactly
in
right.
general.
Yeah.
Well, like
Yeah.
I was saying, obviously you see, I have a Ranger thing behind me, and if I know the Rangers win the game, all I'll do is now I'll watch in 60, and I'll just fast forward to the goal scored and then done because I know they won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the same.
Yeah. But I remember when I was growing up watching wrestling, before they had streaming and the internet, before the internet was popular with wrestling, they used to have black boxes for cable. I don't know if anybody remember the black boxes, but they used to carry the pay-per-views on the black boxes for free. And I used to have one, and I used to have my friends come over because they knew I had it, and we were all wrestling fans, and so we would watch the pay-per-views on my black box whenever they were on, and I would always sit there and be like, "Screw you, Vince McMahon! I ain't paying no $50 for a pay-per-view."
Oh yeah.
I don't know anything about the black box. What's wrong
Oh,
with me?
Wow. Yeah. No, this is going
what
back
kind
here.
of bootleg bullshit you got going on?
Yeah, that was going back a long time ago.
Yeah, but I'm older than you. I should know about the black box.
So
Ronnie, you
yeah,
were a good guy. It was illegal to get the black box.
it was. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. There you
Yeah.
go.
Matt Haas is a criminal.
I know.
Cat's out of the bag now.
Yeah,
He
it's out of the
definitely
bag
doing
now.
some bootlegging.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody knew I had one. Now they do.
Now I'm waiting to see a chair come flying. I want to see Josie hit Matt in the head with a chair now and take him out. Put him in the scissor
Yeah.
hold.
Yeah. Yeah. But now they jailbreak the Fire Sticks, and I think they stopped doing that now too.
Yeah, I'm getting ready. I'm getting the Roku or the Fire Stick or something. All my shows are going to streaming, so
Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Anthony? We got Gerard's brothers in the chat just joined us. So do want to say hello to Anthony Simonelli. What's up? How you doing?
Anthony.
Hey, what's going on, Ant?
So we got guys, we've been talking about the greatest moments in wrestling. We've been talking about great wrestlers and great matches and feuds and stuff that had happened on TV that kind of impacted the wrestling business. So we're talking about a little bit of everything basically. Bless you, but yeah, bless you.
Couple of not so great moments.
Here's a moment. This goes back 90. Who remembers 1977?
Well,
I
that
remember.
was a year right after I was born, Gerard.
April 30th. I remember April because my birthday's in April. Superstar Billy Graham beats Bruno Sammartino for the title.
I
That right there, I
vaguely
think,
remember that.
Nice.
Bruno was it. And Superstar to come out, and he came out. So Superstar, again, he was trying to put bodybuilding into the field. And he was almost like the Muhammad Ali to wrestling back then because what he talked. He stung like a bee.
I think Ken Patera and Tony Atlas brought it in there too, the bodybuilding stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Because they
later
were-
on. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember Jim Patera.
He was in strongman competitions all the time.
Yeah.
Wasn't he
Yeah.
also in the
Strongest
Olympics? He was Olympics, wasn't he, Ken Patera?
I believe so.
Tony Atlas was a professional bodybuilder back around the Arnold Schwarzenegger time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did some of the world's strongman competitions. I
But
remember
back
him.
in the 70s, they never had big bodies. They were just all big guys.
Yeah.
So when Superstar came out, he was all muscle bound, and he had like the 24-inch biceps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't he wear? He was popular for wearing that bandana around his head,
Yeah.
right? And he had a colorful outfit.
Oh yeah. He had the
Superstar.
flowers. He came out with everything, all the feathers and everything.
Yeah. Didn't he wear the what do they call those? The boa,
I think so.
right? Yeah.
I think so.
I think that's where Hogan got that from.
I think so. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say that. I think that's where Hogan got his stuff from
Yeah.
Superstar. Yeah, I get
Yep.
this here.
There you go. Nice.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. He's always flexing. He's always doing his typical things. He was a great
Yeah.
wrestler.
Yep. Here's another great moment. It's kind of involves wrestling, but kind of not. What about the video of Cyndi Lauper with all the wrestlers when the movie Goonies came out?
Girls
And-
just want to have fun. No, was that
No,
it?
no. I forget the name of the song, but
My goodness.
yeah. But they were all wrestlers in it. Great wrestlers like Roddy Piper, Captain Lou Albano, Classy Freddie Blassie was in it.
Mhm.
Like a whole bunch of people that were in it that you don't see around anymore.
Yeah. I can't remember the song though. I remember that.
Yeah, yeah. But how about great managers? There were great managers back in the day. What was the Asian guy? You guys remember the Asian guy that was popular?
Mr. Fuji.
Who?
Mr. Fuji.
Oh, was that? Yeah. Fuji.
Yep. Bobby Heenan.
Bobby Heenan, Lou Albano, Fred Blassie, Arnold Skroland.
Yep.
Remember Arnold
Paul
Skroland?
Bearer?
He was like, which one?
Paul Bearer.
Paul
Paul
Bearer.
Bearer. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, there's a ton of those out there.
Oh yeah. Definitely. So yeah, we can go on and on with managers. But they don't call them managers anymore. They I think they call them just like valets.
Yep.
So, but
It wasn't Test. Test used to come out with Shawn Michaels, right? He wasn't his
Yeah.
manager. He's just his bodyguard or something. Or
yeah, he was his bodyguard.
guys have
And then
bodyguards now.
Yeah, and that's where Diesel, Kevin Nash came in, and when they broke up those two, and then Kevin Nash came in as the bodyguard of Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Yep. These big guys need bodyguards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Now look at AJ Styles. He's got that big guy. That guy is huge,
He's massive.
crazy. He's got to be like 8 feet tall. That guy.
And he's big, and he's not fat.
Yeah.
That's scary.
I know. So I don't know if they plan on using him as a wrestler in the future, but I don't see that lasting that long.
He won't. Who's going to beat him?
I know.
Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who was the big guy that played in? He played in a movie, the remake of The Longest Yard. The big Samoan-looking guy. He came into. I can't remember him.
Oh, King. You know who he is, Matt.
I do.
Yeah. I can't remember his name now. The great Kali.
Kali.
Yeah, that's him.
Was it Kali?
Okay. Yeah.
What happened to him?
He kind of is not wrestling anymore, but I think he runs his own his own wrestling school. I think he's training guys over in his country. I think he went back over to his country and basically I think he's just training people.
Wow, that's a big guy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he also played. He played in a couple movies. He played also in. Remember, he was in The Longest Yard,
Mm-hmm.
and he's also in that movie. Jesus Christ! Get Smart.
Oh yeah, Get
The
Smart.
new one, the remake. He was in Get Smart.
Didn't that have John Travolta?
It
No,
did.
and Get Smart.
Get Smart
Yeah.
did. Didn't it?
Or was that The
No,
Rock?
No, not The Rock. Who's the guy from the funny actor from The Office?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember his name now. It's
Yeah.
Steve
we're
Carell.
bad with- we're doing a wrestling podcast and we're terrible with names. We got to get better.
Yeah, but this makes it more fun this way. We're winging it.
Yeah.
We
Matt,
go
we're
out
old.
and we hit the fork in the road here, and
Yeah.
Matt, we're old, Matt. It's what our memories remember.
Yeah, right.
Look, earlier I messed up. I called him Marty Jannetty with a chick. with the thing. It was JJ.
Who? Here's another great wrestler. Who could forget George the Animal Steel?
I've seen him wrestle back in the day.
Remember
I
the
hate
green?
saying this at Sunnyside Gardens. I was in the front row, my friend Mike, and George Animal Steel comes out to wrestle. So of course we're heckling him. We're like about 5 years old. We're yelling at him, cursing him out, and he jumps out of the ring and chases us up the stairs. We're running away like little girls. And then when security picks him up, takes him back, and they were brave again, yelling at him again. But I think he had a purple tongue back. I don't think it was green. He chased us right up.
I think it was green, but he used to eat the turnbuckles. Remember?
Yeah.
Every turnbuckle
So
he ate.
I was a
Every turnbuckle.
kid and seen him wrestle and didn't know who he was. And when he came out and he was bouncing around the ring and then he walks up and just pulls a turnbuckle off, I was kind of afraid of him.
I think everybody was. And then find out he's a professor
Yeah.
in college.
Yeah. That's
Imagine
funny.
that you go to school and who's your teacher? George the Animal Steel. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
The turnbuckle guy?
Yeah. 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 He was pretty. He had a great gimmick though.
Oh yeah, he didn't wrestle as much as I thought he would.
No, he was more of like a fill-in for like a good mid-card kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember when he kidnapped Elizabeth?
Yeah.
He was like Quasimodo. He's running away with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. And then of course, you know who I was a big fan of, who was popular in the early '90s, late '80s, was Don the Rock Morocco.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was underrated.
Very underrated. I thought he was a good wrestler. And how about Tito Santana?
Oh, Tito Santana.
He was another great underrated.
Underrated too, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how about Adrian Adonis?
Adrian Adonis.
Remember
Yeah.
when he
I was a
first
big
came
fan of
out, he
him.
came out in that black hat and he was real good wrestling, and later on he got real heavy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was when he first came out, he was a bad butt.
Yeah. Yep. But those are the times, man. But we got actually a few minutes left. Guys, if you have any comments or feedback, or you guys want to give us a shout, have any questions about the topics that we've been talking about, you want to add some input, we do have an email address. If you want to email us, it is deadmanstriadwp@gmail.com. That's our email address. So again, that's deadmanstriadwp@gmail.com. Or you can go on our Facebook page, comment there, leave some feedback there. That'd be great. If you don't mind sharing the podcast, if you like it, guys, we're just starting this out. Share it out there for us. Spread the word. Word of mouth is always helpful.
Yes.
So
And anybody come in and watch the show, hey, we're up to learning new things and your favorite stories and facts. We're here to listen to you or answer or whatever you want to do. Just join us and share.
yeah, definitely. I agree. So anyway, we talked about a lot of greatest moments in wrestling. Sure, there's a lot more that we probably overlooked. We could continue that into our next episode. We can do some more extensive lists of those things. But yeah, we look forward to our next episode, guys. I thought we did a great show today. I don't know, guys, any last thoughts before I say goodbye to our fans?
Just continue watching wrestling. That's all I can say.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully watch our podcast and then
Yeah.
just join us. I mean, as you can see, we're having fun, and
That's what it's all about.
we're speaking from memories. And if you have memories, just you come tell us your stories.
Yes.
Yeah, whether you're old school or new school, it don't matter. Wherever you come from, we talk about all different generations of wrestling, and that's what this podcast is about. So, yeah, by all means, if you guys have stories from both generations, whatever it is. So, guys, we're going to be broadcasting every Sunday morning, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You can watch us on Facebook or YouTube. It'll be processed the following day on YouTube after the live show is done. Usually takes about a half a day or so to process. But you can always catch our show if you miss it. Go on YouTube. Please subscribe on our YouTube channel. We do have a YouTube channel, Dead Man's Triad Wrestling Podcast. Just look it up. Click that little bell. There's a little bell on the top of the YouTube channel main page. Other than that, guys, I think we're gonna close out the show, and want to wish everybody to enjoy the rest of their Sunday. You know, be well, be safe out there, and thanks for tuning in this week. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead. Yep, gonna play our video here, and then you guys have a great day.
Have a good one, guys.